Good morning, guys and gals. How are you doing today? So Wavey and I are up here in Ontonagon checking things out for the season here, and looks like snow's going pretty quick. We're out at the Fire Steel right now, which is about 7 miles up the shore from Ontonagon proper. And the Fire, well, here, I'll just turn the phone around and explain it to you. So the Fire Steel's a much smaller river than the Ontonagon, so taking a little longer to clear the ice out, but it's getting there. It's one of my favorite places to come in the summer. There's a little beach right out there to the right. You pull right up, protected. Even the lake can be going off and you're behind a sandbar. And of course you can go way up here. Like, I've gone at least 2 or 3 miles in a boat up the river here. I think you can go even farther, 4 or 5 miles. And I think we'll find that out this summer, just how far we could take the Beagle Barge up there, for example. We got a wild turkey crossing going on here. Traffic jam in Ontonagon. What do you think of those, Beagle? Taking Wavey to one of her favorite off-leash places. She knows where we are. Go. Stopped at our local thrift store here this morning, and I found a book on the Great Lakes lighthouses of all the Great Lakes, which is pretty cool. And a reference book on trees of North America and the birds of North America. Probably all coming from the same guy who probably died this winter, is my guess. So, yeah, these two will go on the Beagle Barge, and I'll put that in my reference library. It's good to be back in Superiorland. I feel like it's over. It's over. The snow's melting quick. River's open. It's still kind of, it's that time of year where everything looks really ugly. Like, never try to sell a house in the Northland in the spring, because or take a bunch of pictures of it, like, really ideally in the fall. If you have a bunch of hardwoods that are turning color around your house, you could sell a shotgun shack for 3 times more than it's worth if you take a picture at the right time, trust me. But if you have a beautiful home that you take a picture of, this time of year, right when the snow leaves and the ground is all muddy and the grass hasn't turned green yet, no one will buy it unless they really know what they're looking at. So it's funny. Everything just looks ugly right now, but you see past it. I love it. Man, I love the Northland. I love it. So excited for the adventures that are going to happen this summer. I'm trying really hard this year to not get in a hurry. And it's really hard for me. It would turn into a Dr. Phil show if I tried to, explain to you guys, and it would quickly get kicked over to the backup channel, and I'm trying not to do that with this video. But yeah, it's really important to just try to pace yourself if you're like me. So not everyone has this problem, but I always put myself on the hook for too much to do, more than one man could ever do. I think it's a type of self-punishment and self-loathing in a way. It's pretty deep-seated stuff, and I'm just trying to be good, trying to be better to myself, and just take my time, get done whatever I can, and let each day present itself. And you got to be a little bit of a taskmaster for yourself, and keep yourself honest and not be too lazy, which can also be easy to do too, but somewhere in the middle where you're actually enjoying the process along the way to any sort of accomplishment that you might have at the end is always the goal. So I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. You're off the leash, little Beagle. That hardly ever happens. I don't know if you can tell on video here, guys, but the river is just flowing hard. I thought about putting the barge back in the water, but honestly, I don't think it would fit under the trestle, because, even when it's not flowing hard, it still barely fits under there. So I have a feeling I might actually hit the top or hit the trestle this time. Got some icebergs flowing. Yep. Fishing soon. I should go get myself a fishing license. I have to pay out of state in Michigan here, and I always thought it was kind of another one of those frustrating bureaucracy things where if you live on Lake Superior, you know, you got Minnesota, you got Wisconsin, you got Michigan, and you have to buy a fishing license for all three if you plan on fishing the entire lake. And then if you go to Canada, that's a whole different can of worms, you know. So I end up spending, you know, a couple $100 a year on fishing licenses just to fish, you know, the same lake in the two places that I live, you know, which is, you know, I just paid my property taxes too, and that's another rant I could give you guys, but I'm going to spare you. Okay, so my 1-minute rant on paying property taxes. So listen, I get it. I'm not that much of an idealist. You're going to pay property taxes, you know, death and taxes, right? But here in Michigan, they have winter taxes and summer taxes. Now, they might do that in other states too, but they come due in the winter in February. Now, I tried to explain this to the ladies. It's always the ladies, right? They just, anyways, I'm not going to go there. But the bill comes in the middle of winter when literally more than half the town isn't even home. You know, you're in Florida, you're who knows where, you're in your other home. It's just the way the Northland is, especially in this aged out population where people are retired and such. And so by the time you get home and you get your mail and you find your taxes in the mailbox, they've already went delinquent, and they call it that. They call it delinquent taxes, and they kick it over to the county courthouse where they attach a fee for delinquent taxes. So unless you're home to pay them in a very small window of time, you have to pay a delinquents tax on top of your property tax. I have to do it every year. Now, it's not too much. I think I just paid between the two properties that I have here in Ontonagon an extra, I don't know, $20 maybe. I don't know, $20 or $30. But it's the principle of it, you know? It's like an antiquated system that has no incentive to fix because they get extra money for it, and if they fixed it, they would lose revenue. You see how that works, you know? So I don't know. I can't be the only one that notices that. It's pretty frustrating, and I always bring it up in the most tactful and polite way to the pawns that are on the other side of the glass that really have nothing to do with the policy or the setting of these rules, but nonetheless, who are you going to complain to, you know? So you just grit your teeth and you pay the delinquent tax because you didn't hang around checking your mail in February. Wavey loves being off the leash. She hardly ever gets to do it. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're cray-cray, yo. Beagles be cray, yo. You're cray-cray, yo. You know I always gotta check, guys. Hey. It's open. Well, look at this. General Electric. The switch. INS off going gate. The switch says the same. Oncoming. Off going gate. Oncoming gate. Oncoming gate. Off going gate. Wedge controls. Control circuit. And voltmeter transfer. You got this big old thing. What that is. Fully open, nearly closed, fully closed. Bridge controls. Okay, this must have been the main bridge controls. It says radio station license, Michigan, state of Michigan. Yeah, looking for a date. Looks like the last date was 2003. It's actually not that long ago. There was someone sitting in here looking out over the river, and every time a ship would come in, you know, they had a bridge, and it would, I think it would, here, I'll find some information on it, but there was a very low bridge across that was the main bridge getting into town. You know, we have the big bridge now, I'll show you, but yep, I think this is one of the last ones like this too, like anywhere in the country, certainly in Michigan. Did he have a little bathroom? He did. He had a little bathroom back here. His own little bathroom. Now, you know me, guys. If they would sell this to me cheap, I'd live here. I'd just turn this into a little tiny house and I'd just live here. Of course, Ontonagon doesn't even want me as it is. They're not going to sell me their historic bridge captain, bridge master room.